In the last video, I talked about why most people don't ever finish a book. And the short version was this: books don't stall because one person can't write, they stall because they never make one decision. Today I want to talk to you about that decision. Because if you can't clearly say who the book is for, everything else is going to become friction. Every chapter feels heavy, every section becomes heavier and heavier, every sentence gets second guessed, and then eventually writing becomes harder than it should be. But here's the truth that most people miss. A book without a clear reader isn't generous, it's confusing. And confusion is what makes people stop writing. They get overwhelmed, they don't know which direction to go to, and then they just get stuck, so they just stop. When I ask someone, who's this book for? I almost always hear one of these answers. It's for anybody that wants to improve their life. It's for entrepreneurs. It's for parents. It's for people who will find themselves in it. See, that's the thing. None of those sound clear. None of those are clear. They sound inclusive. They sound safe. But they don't help the reader, and they certainly don't help you. Because readers aren't looking to relate. They're looking to be recognized. When someone opens a book, they're silently asking themselves, is this about me or not? If it's not, they don't get angry. They just stop reading. The answer needs to be obvious in the first few pages, or else the reader doesn't think it's for them. And that's the problem. When you start writing, that's what you need to find out. That's what you need to figure out, because the reader won't finish reading it, especially the people that you want them to read it. Because if you don't know who exactly you're writing to, you start feeling that uncertainty every single time you write, whether you think so or not. Let me simplify this. A clear reader is not a demographic, a job title, or a personality type. A clear reader is a reader in a specific moment. Someone dealing with a repeated frustration, a stuck decision, a pattern that isn't working anymore for them. You see, you're not writing for entrepreneurs. You're writing for an entrepreneur that's stuck here and wants to know how to get there. That's the key difference. Here's a line I want you to remember. You're not writing to a type of person, you're writing to a person in a particular situation. Once you lock onto that situation, the book starts telling you what belongs and what doesn't. There are 3 simple questions that immediately sharpen your book. You don't need a worksheet, you don't need software. All you have to do is answer these honestly. 1, where is the reader stuck right now? What are they struggling with? What's going on in their daily life? What keeps them up at night? Not long-term dreams, not someday goals, but what's feeling heavy right now, today? The second question is, what keeps repeating for them? What have they tried in the past that doesn't work? What thoughts keep looping? It's the same thing. What keeps them up at night? What are these questions that are constantly on their mind? What is going to be the first thing that they type in to Google to get answered, or type into ChatGPT to find the answers to? And 3, what decisions are they circling but not making? Now this one's important. Most people aren't confused, they're undecided. And books don't help people by just dumping a bunch of information on them. They move people by helping them choose when they're undecided. If you can answer these things clearly, your writing instantly becomes lighter. Because now you're not trying to write to impress, but now you're writing to actually help somebody. Here's what happens when the reader is clear. You stop wondering what doesn't belong, what you should write, how to write it, and who you're reaching out to. Because now you know who actually needs it. Stories fall into place, examples make sense, and chapters stop fighting you. And most importantly, you stop trying to keep the book open-ended just in case. Because clarity doesn't limit your reach, it focuses it. It's not a shotgun approach where you just kind of spray and pray. You're now sniper focused on one target, one reader, one audience, and your message becomes so much more clear. So here's the reframe that I want you to start doing. Broad books feel safe to the author. Clear books feel safe to the reader. And when the reader feels safe, they keep reading. So if episode 1 was about why books stall, this episode is about that decision that keeps things moving along. It's about removing all resistance. You don't need motivation, you don't need better tools. Clarity comes from choosing, not from keeping options open. You need to choose a reader. Because once you choose a reader, the next question becomes totally obvious. What problem is this book actually solving for them? That's what we'll cover next, so make sure you hit that subscribe button.